Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First and foremost, the Confederacy was a fundamental attack on our Constitution and the founding principles of our nation, and it should never be romanticized or honored. I've got no problems with removing lawfully any monument that specifically honors this rebellion, but that's not what this bill does. Rather, it begins by removing the bust of Roger Taney from the old Supreme Court chamber. Now, it is true, he wrote the absolutely worst decision ever rendered by the Supreme Court, the Dred Scott decision. But let's not forget, he also presided over and joined in one of its better decisions, the Amistad slave case. If we remove memorials to every person in this building who ever made a bad decision, and his was the worst, well, this would be a very barren place indeed. It's only the bad things in our history that we can use to measure all of the good things in our history. Now, this bill also removes the statues of Confederate sympathizers sent to the Capitol by the states. Well, that's not our decision. That is a decision that has always belonged to the individual states, and several of them are already making these decisions. We should let them. The only other is John C. Breckinridge of Kentucky, who is honored not for his service to the Confederacy, but rather for his service as Vice President of the United States. And granted, we have had some absolutely terrible vice presidents through our history, and I'm sure we will in the future. But if we're going to start down that road, we're going to be swapping out statues like trading cards at the whim of the moment. Our nation's history should be made of sterner stuff. Perhaps we would all be better advised to practice a little temporal humility and heed the wisdom of Omar Khayyam. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on. Nor all thy piety nor wit can call it back to cancel half a line, nor all thy tears wash out a word of it. I yield back.